was important was the spirit that was operating in her. You know how much time we waste on describing people and calling out names? Sister Susie, something else. It really ain't Sister Susie. It's the spirit in her. And if you as spiritual as you say you are, why don't you pray for the spirit, identify the spirit, rebuke the spirit, take authority over the spirit, and loose the spirit of peace upon her life. But instead, you just as carnal as she is, and that's why y'all at each other's throat all the time. Y'all carnal. You carnal, she carnal. And that's why y'all can't get along, because she mad, you mad at each other. And it's not the person. It's not the person. It's not me. It's the spirit in me. As a matter of fact, everybody, when you look at a person and you say, well, this person is, they're just so nice. They're so joyous to be around. It's because of the spirit that's in them. The Bible said it's the spirit that quickeneth, which means that gives life. So without a spirit, there is no life. If you take a person's spirit, they have no life. And people only operate in the spirit that is in them. Say, well, he always lying. That's because he got a lying spirit. Sister, some folk just be lying and forget how much they lie. In the church, I'm talking about church folk. The ones that shout and speak in tongues. They lying and they forgot the last lie they told you. And all you can say is, why this person keep lying? Because they got a lying spirit. Why they can't shut their mouth and stop gossiping? Because they got a chaos, gossiping spirit of unrest on them. So stop talking about them. Ain't no sense in talking about them. It's the spirit that's operating in them. Why she dressed so seductive? No, because I'm going to be honest. Can I pause for just a moment? Y'all don't, Sierra, you don't mind, do you? Can I go for just a moment? Destiny, all y'all don't mind. Can I just pause for just a moment? See, now the church has become so lawless. Everywhere you go, you got rules and regulations, policies and procedures. But you come down to the church house, the Lord's house, and folk want to do what they want to do. And got the nerve to get an attitude when you correct them on it. I heard of a story, and this is actually true. I heard of a story of a young man who worked for Coca-Cola down in Texas. He worked for Coca-Cola. And when he started there, they told him it is against our rules and regulations for you to drink or bring any Pepsi products on our premises. Told him you can't even bring them on the premises. Oh, but Pepsi's my favorite soda. Not no more. You work for Coca-Cola. And guess what they did? They stopped bringing those They don't bring Pepsi. But you say, this is just unfair. This ain't liberty. Well, you work for Coca-Cola now. You're going to have to follow our rules. But you go, just try. Going into the workplace, doing what you want to do, wearing what you want to wear, bringing what you want to bring, and see if you still be there. The church is the only place where we feel like we do what we want to do and can't nobody say nothing about it. Everybody don't want to see every dip and dab in your thighs. Everybody don't want to see your breastises. Everybody ain't trying to see all that. Some people just gonna let it all hang. If you can't do that at work, what make you think being in the church, up here trying to sing and trying to preach, and all we can see is the love handles? I'm sorry. I'm trying to get into the song. But right now, I'm too busy. I'm too bombarded by all the meat. Well, they ain't got the look. It's right there. Cover yourself up. We won't do what we want to do. And then, you have the timid preachers that stop preaching and dealing with the stuff because they don't want to offend nobody. So what? Everywhere you go, you're going to be offended. You're going to have some rules and some regulations. You get mad, just get mad. Go to church down the street. I don't care what you do. But up in here, we got some order. This is God's house. Let me get back to the word. Let me get back to this. He says, the spirit of divination met us. The spirit of divination met us, which brought her masters much gain by soothsaying. So you say, what do they get out of it? Why do they got to show so much? This is where I was going with it. Those people are operating in spirits. Don't y'all look at me like that. Anybody that walk around showing everything they have, that doesn't mean they're a bad person. But what it does mean is that there's a spirit that's driving them to do that. Because you got men sitting in the congregation that's trying to get out of the. They trying to move past that, but then they come to the house of the Lord, and they sitting here seeing women that's just kind of like with their nightclub clothes on. You know what I'm saying? They're bringing their master, the devil, much gain, because guess what happens? That, when you show all that, that's what you call a trigger point. Spiritually, that's a trigger point for a man or for someone who struggled with that. When the moment they see that, it triggers those old spirits. It starts, if they're not strong, it'll capture them. This was the thing they used to struggle with. This was the thing they battled with. And now they come to the house of the Lord. They say, I ain't going to that because they're going to be dressed crazy there. But then they come to church, and you showing the same thing and more than what they showed in the club. That's a trigger point. And so you're being used of the enemy. There's a spirit in you that's causing you to do that, because there are men in the church that's trying to be delivered from that. You come into church and folk, why are they always so mean, rejective, and doing these types of things? Well, there are people that battle with the spirit of rejection. And when they come into church, the last thing they need is for somebody to judge them and talk about them and lie on them and put your mouth on people. The devil is using you. That's a trigger point. You don't know those words that you're saying could be the very word that will cause somebody to go take their own life. But you so carnal minded that you don't understand it. You don't understand the power that's in your mouth. You keep opening up your mouth, talking about folk, putting your mouth on people. Shut your mouth and allow God to work on them. It's not your place. Well, they ain't gonna do that. It ain't your business. You got all those skeletons in your closet. Close your mouth. Anybody that spend more time talking about other people, it's because they got some issues. I just want to come look and see what's in your closet. Because if you got that much time to talk about other people, what that means is you're trying to disguise what's in your life. See, people that's got their life together ain't got time to talk about yours. It's the messed up, jacked up folk. It makes them feel so good to talk about other people because they know their life jacked up. And so now they feel better because they get to talk about this person.